So one of my favorite things to do to find new contractors in a nice neighborhood is maybe get a little cleaned up, grab my dog, go park in that fabulous neighborhood and walk around. I just slyly take photos of the work trucks, go home and start my research into who the great contractors are. Welcome! We're gonna raise a glass and think tank how to bring more joy, abundance, and balance to your interior design firm. I'm Sandra Funk and this is Design Sips. Cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers!
Okay, Sandra, so we asked designers about this topic, and so let's jump into our questions. Evie asks, how do you find and work with a great general contractor?
Okay, so finding contractors, like I said, I love the idea of parking your car in a great aspirational neighborhood that you would love to have clients, walk around, walk your dog, walk with a friend, have your phone, and make sure that you are grabbing that info off of those work trucks that you know are parked there Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. on. So grab that info and do your research, right? Next up, you can also ask your trades. So if you're working with an electrical supplier, ask them about a great electrician. Plumbing supply shop will know the good plumbers, right? Your flooring contractor will know good flooring installers, and on and on and on. And obviously, those are the smaller trades. You're also gonna always ask about general contractors because you know they're gonna have all the trades in all the showrooms. So not only is there a great tile installer, but who's the best GC in this area that you would recommend? Keep asking your vendors. They know who the good people are, and you can start to do your research and build that relationship.
Exactly. So before we go on to building that relationship, we just want to remind everyone, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, if we're here and it's going well, let's stay together, shall we?
Okay, so Sandra, the next part of this process is you have your people that you want to start to build a relationship with. What is the next step for what you call woo?
Yes, okay, this is so good. I love this. So we're now going to put the kind of effort into building relationships with trades as we would with the amazing, incredible clients we want to work with. So we are going to woo them, right? First step in that is identifying who they are, which we just walked through. Next up is doing your research, really figuring out who makes the decisions over there, who's the person in charge, right? Find out who they are and then go deep. Figure out where do they live, where do they work, do they have kids, where do they donate their money, what kind of charities are they involved in, right? What are their hobbies? Are they a fisher, a golfer, a tennis player? Do they knit? Do they sew? What do they do with their spare time? Who's their team? What's their game? Like all of it, right? Where do they eat? Where do they shop? Where do they hang out? Who do they know? Who do you know that they know that could introduce you, right? When you start to do that deep research, you're gonna be like, oh, their alma mater is my alma mater, or they know my good friend XYZ, probably because they're in that same charitable organization together. Let me call her up and check, right? So do your research. And then I swear, you know the 6 degrees of separation, right? Like you will find some commonality. There will be some common ground. Okay, so research is number 2, right? Find them, research them. And then you're really gonna dig in. And so the woo process that we love to follow is first you start with a gift, something that will get their attention. This gift is not merchandise with your business name on it. It could be merchandise with their business name on it. Maybe you have something made custom for them. For instance, one of my good designer buddies in town gave me 2 little adorable wine glasses with Design Sips etched in them once. That is a memorable gift. I will never forget, Campbell. She didn't give me a gift with her business name on it. She gave me a gift that was custom to me. That is far, far more keepable, shareable, memorable, mentionable. That was easily 5 years ago, right? So really think about knowing who they are, knowing what they're into, and then customizing something special for them that will literally make it impossible for them to forget you. That'll get their attention, right? That'll get them starting to pay attention to you and probably prompt a thank you at the very least. So contact has been made, right? This is good. Next up, you want to make sure that you offer them help in some way. So that might be pointing out that you have a new client that you would love to introduce to them and potentially consider working together, right? Bring them work, bring them potential clients. so that in turn, over time, you will end up working together and they will end up bringing you potential clients as well. Like this is the flow. When you have the intention that you want to work with them because A, you need a great contractor, and B, you're hoping for their referrals over the years, always start the relationship by being the giver, right? Always give first. So that little gift, that little give, how can I help you? Could we do an event together? Could we do some cross marketing? Is there, really think out of the box. Are they putting together a new office space, a new build for them, for their work? Do they need paint colors? Do they need help with design? Like, where can you be of service to them? It really starts there, okay? So the gift, then the offer of help, and then the request, right? The request is, can we grab a cup of coffee? I'd love to talk through a couple of projects that are coming up the pipe for me that I'd love to see if we can work together on. Or I'd love to talk through, do you have projects that are coming that still need designers on the team that you're building? Really important in that meeting to tell that contractor why you would be helpful in their business. Why working together with you would benefit them, right? I'm organized, I'm efficient, I have processes, I have, you can talk to Joe the plumber, who I happen to know that you know because you golf together, that we are responsible, our plans are clear, we show up on the job site when we say we're going to, we really take good care of our clients, like the clients would bring the questions to us and then we will filter them to you. Like, we keep the agendas, we keep the notes. Like, how can you make it clear to them that you are so amazing to work with that of course they're going to want to bring their next potential client straight to you, right? That's the pitch in that meeting. Getting to know them, getting to trust and like them, and really just being so helpful and giving and just getting that relationship off the ground is really where you're at with that.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you. What strategies have you used before? What about this is resonating? Let us know in the comments.
Yes, if you've got some ideas that we haven't mentioned, we would love to share with the community. We're all about share it, make it better, do it together. Cheers to that.
Another thing I'd love for you to talk through is just like we set expectations with our clients from the start in terms of hiring and working with a GC, is our trade agreement that we do. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and where it came from?
Sure. So we have a trade agreement, so a contract essentially that we sign with our trades and with our trades and general contractor. And it is basically just a document that outlines best practices, right? Communication standards, job site standards, pecking order of who should be doing what, when, how, little things like when, the client should be coming, anything that the client says to a contractor when you're not on the job site, because of course the contractors are there Monday through Friday, hopefully 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, and you're only there maybe that once a week meeting. So a lot of times the clients will just naturally mention punch list items to the contractors who are on site. And so, it's things like saying, that's fine, that's natural, that the contractor must turn around and communicate that back to us in a timely manner so that we can weigh in on decisions, definitely weigh in on any changes. We can take into consideration, if somebody says, I know we said we were going to take the tile to here, but I'd like to see it go to there. If the contractor doesn't turn around and communicate that to the design team, we can't potentially get more tile if we need it, right? We can't make sure that it doesn't have to go all the way back up for a change order, that there's not more labor going to be involved. Like, that all needs to be communicated very clearly to the client. So it's always just protecting the client relationship and making sure that even though they off the cuff have a conversation with the contractor on site, that it makes it all the way back up, makes it into the meeting agendas, makes it into the paperwork, makes it, all the way back to orders and potential change orders and all of those things. So it's a container that really guides the relationship. And it's all the way down to little things. Don't park in the client's driveway. Don't smoke on the client's property. Leave the client's property for a smoke break. They're allowed, but you can't do it on the client's property. Don't put metal in the microwave. How many times have our contractors blown up our client's brand spanking new microwave because they threw some leftovers in there? I don't know why, but it happens all the damn time. But it's all these little guidelines. It's, covering the spaces before you demo. It's shoe covers once the final flooring finishes are in. It's, tack paper down when the final floor is in, blah, blah. It's all those little details that over 20 years of doing design, you naturally have a long list of things that you'd love for your contractor to do. And if you can build this relationship and you can really say to the contractor, like, this is our best practices. This is like guidelines for how we work best with contractors. Like, read this through, let me know what you're thinking. But most of my contractors have been so thrilled to have like almost like a way to say to their guys, like, you guys, this job, this is like a real, there's like job site expectations. And then we also have templates where we print those job site expectations and post them on the job site. No smoking, cover things, like all the best practices. The clients love it because they know that we are on it. We are making sure that their home is being really carefully taken care of. And the contractors actually love it too, because then we take the fall for being the guys who aren't letting them park in the driveway, not the boss, right? The designers, which is fine, because we're happy to be that, because we do it with kindness, always, always, always. So yeah, that's that agreement, and it really is wonderful and helpful, and it does allow for, like, again, just this flow of a beautiful relationship with client, contractors, designer. Everyone is in flow.
Yes, and so we provide this agreement inside the standard, and a member reached out the other day and said how much their GC loved it because he had been meaning to make something like that with the guidelines.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, they're sick of telling the guys, like, hey,
yeah,
walk across the street to the park for your smoke break, or hey, you can't, like, park in the driveway because then the kids got to go to school and they're there going, could somebody move the truck? It is helpful. It's just helpful guidelines, and it makes such a big difference because the clients are already so stressed. Their house is under construction. There's a lot going on. It's expensive. It's wonderful when the clients are like, oh, everyone is such a charm to be around. Like, they really love it.
Mm-hmm. And becoming insanely referable is creating an amazing client experience, but also doing the same for your GCs so that they continue to refer you over and over again.
100%. You don't have to keep watch on just the client experience. You also want to make sure that the GC, the trades, the vendors, everyone is loving working with you so that they want to keep working with you. So you can't, it's all about positioning, right? Like, this is a helpful guidelines document. This is not like the rules or you're out. You really have to come to it from like a helpful standpoint. Mm-hmm. And that's the conversation in the beginning. Like, would this be helpful? Read this through. What if this resonates? Does any of this not resonate with you? Like, at the end of the day, when you're working with another business, you need to come to an agreement, right? This is not my way or the highway. This is coming to a conversation and having agreements about, like, does this make sense for you? Does this work for you? Would this resonate? What if these items don't? Like, really talking that through. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Okay, so you have the dream GC now because you've implemented all these amazing strategies.
Indeed.
And the dream clients, but do you have the dream pricing model, systems, and client experience? So if you're looking for a few ways to tighten up your business back end, we have the guide for it.
Yeah, definitely. So the interior design standard is all of this, right? This is the business backbone. It is the baseline of how to run an efficient, joyful, abundant, balanced interior design firm. And it is literally all in there. It is all about the exact process to go from potential client to final photography. It's about making sure that your pricing model is tight and right and gives you wonderful abundance and the best possible client experience. So I could go on and on because it is 6 modules, it is bonuses after bonuses, it goes on and on forever, but we put it all in there. It's all in there.
And you can reserve your spot now, and we highly recommend doing that.
Yes. Yeah, definitely reserve your spot. You're going to want to be in for the next launch. You're going to want to be part of the next class. The standard members are incredible interior designers leveling up their business together, and they're having a blast doing it.
Thanks for joining us today.
That's it, y'all. Cheers. Happy Wednesday.